your business, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Okay. My name is Saul Mendoza. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and I currently own a rock wall and landscaping company here in El Paso.
Awesome. And so what are some of the services that you provide?
I provide rock wall repair, center block, concrete, turf, sod insulation. Uh, I mean, pretty much everything that has to go in your landscaping. Outside kitchens, fire pits. I mean, you name it, we do it. As long as it's an outside project, we got you.
Sweet. All right. We've been working together for a little while now. You're one of my longer running clients, which is awesome. Do you remember initially how you had heard about the company and how
I,
you'd found us?
I think scrolling on Facebook is where I saw an ad of yours, and I was like, you know what, this give 'em a try.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I do believe it was from one of our ads. And do you remember sort of, we'll talk about a little bit of the before. And so back then, do you remember, because we've done a few things for you. We did lead generation initially, and now we've just finished up the website for you. We're going to start doing SEO as well as some more lead gen come soon. Let's just talk a little bit about the before. Do you remember how things were going back then in terms of business, the current workload, maybe revenue numbers, if you remember?
Well, back then I didn't understand how important marketing was, and now I understand that to run a good business, I mean, marketing is going to be, I would say, about 60 to 70% of your success. Marketing, because you could go. I know some people say word of mouth is going to get you, but that only gets you so far, before marketing kicks in. And for what I've seen, the system that you have works because I mean leads started coming in right away, from the generation, the lead service you offer, and then the lead now with a, I mean, the website's been up about what, not even a month, I believe. And we've had like
Yep. Yep.
4 leads coming in through that, which is surprising because the person I was working with before, or the business I was working before, I mean, yeah, they started off real good and then it slowed down. I saw this. I know this marketing friend of mine, man, and he the other day posted a video saying like, who is the right lead generator for you? Who is going to be the one that, because everybody's going to offer you, say they're the best in whatever. Well,
Hmm.
the point that he brought and that caught my attention is go with a person you trust. If you trust that person, then that's the person you should use. And it made me think, and I'm like, well, I trust you, Jacob. I trust you, and I know that you put your heart into this. I know you're trying to get things going, and I mean, that's what I need, somebody that I could trust. When you're putting 60-70% of the business, because that's what marketing basically falls into, then you better have somebody that you trust. And I trust you, and
100%.
I think we're gonna really kick it off. I mean, leads are coming in and have come in both times that we've done the different services, and I look forward into growing with you and making sure that we follow up on every lead. And so far, I pretty much put my trust in you.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, it's been, again, we've been working together for a while now. So I remember initially some of the previous experience you had and working with agencies, and it's the internet, so it's weird. I understand. We've actually not yet at least met in person, and so I can understand it's hard. With just the FaceTime or the video calls, not truly meeting somebody in person. I can fully understand and respect that there's hesitancy, but ultimately trust is earned, and so I'm glad to hear that I've earned your trust. That's killer, man.
No,
That's great.
yeah, it's been a great experience. So I know
Good to hear.
I know where we're going, and I know we're gonna get there. So I'm very
Oh yeah.
excited. 6 months from now, when we're doing another video and we're seeing how much we grew and how much my revenue has grown. So I
Yeah.
look forward to that.
Yeah, I do too, brother. No, and we'll be there every step of the way to help you out. We are looking forward to it most definitely. With the SEO, with the website, I mean, that's even just foundational with those leads that have come in so far. And so that's good to hear because, again, we haven't even like started the ongoing. So that's truly just starting from a clean slate. And I'm glad to hear that. Cool. All right. So do you remember? Well, let's just jump into with the lead generation and through working with us because it's again probably been 10, 11 months, if not almost a year. Do you remember that maybe some of the amount of leads you were getting previously? Like, was 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 the lead quality just not good? Were you not getting leads? And then versus say now,
No, the leads started coming in immediately, which kind of shocked me. I was like, man, this is fast. And it was quite a bit that I could remember, about 6 to 8 leads a day. I mean, it was quite a bit. But on my end, I had to step it up and do a little bit more. You know what I mean? So leads will come in, but at the other end, it's the contractor's job to go ahead and close it correctly. We got to do the right follow up. We got to do the right process. You got to have a system after the lead comes in for the lead to
mm,
work. So I think that was my biggest lesson. Leads do come in, but as a contractor, it's your job to go and close a deal, and it's from when the lead comes in. So my point to this is that you've done your job. The one that I hold accountable is myself because you definitely need to have a lead system follow up already in place. What's your system, But as far as
yeah,
leads, man, they were coming in. They were coming in.
killer, killer. Yeah, I think that's a lot of uh, people will uh, people will agree with you in that a lot of the guys that I talk to, and I think even you initially, a lot of pen and paper. You're out in the field, you're in the trenches, you're focusing on what you need to do, which is take care, manage the team, and actually implement. Do the work. And so I think a lot of time, you guys don't necessarily have the sort of proper systems or the CRM, for example. Like, did you find the CRM to be beneficial to help you try to get away from just the pen and paper? Because that's where things can sort of slip through the cracks and leads get sort of forgotten about. So that CRM help out.
Yeah, you know what? Back then, I didn't understand how important the CRM is. So I was letting a lot slide through. So I guess it's always a lesson in progress. You're learning as you go with everything.
Sure.
And I didn't really understand the importance of a CRM. Now I understand how important a CRM is. And if you're not using a good CRM, honestly, your business is not going to succeed. So
Yeah. There's leaky holes within any bucket of a business, right? Uh, and that's just with any business. And so anytime that you can try to start patching those holes instead of just leaving money on the table, there's a lot of additional revenue that could be added.
yeah, if people are not
Killer.
using a CRM right now, you're basically losing out on a lot of money.
Yeah, and you don't realize until you start doing the calculations or you remember that one lead that for whatever reason didn't move forward, but the job was worth $30,000. So understood. Okay. And then just a little bit about the website experience. I would love to hear, your thoughts on visually, how was the experience in just going through the process of building the website, and then sort of how do you feel about the website as a whole?
Yeah. I mean, the experience was great. You explained everything from the beginning. You were wanting to get to work ASAP. I felt that you were a little bit antsy to get it going, and that's what I liked. I wanted somebody to, hey, let's get this done. I had a plan in place. You executed properly. So, I mean, the website's been good. I like it. I like it. I'm just now I'm antsy. I want people to go to the website. So I
Yeah.
want to see the traffic that's going to go through this, man, because I have seen, I don't know, I do feel, and this is a controversial, right, issue where people say, oh, SEO doesn't work, SEO does work. I feel SEO is the way to go, because once people are in Google, they're ready. Well,
Organically finding you.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like not something that It's very rare that I go onto an SEO, uh, like, what is the word I'm looking for? An SEO estimate, and that they're shopping around. Most likely they're ready to
Mm,
compared to the
yeah,
meta ads, where they're kind of shopping around and so far. To me, I feel like SEO is a lot more. But I know there's going to be
yep.
controversial on that, and that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The argument is almost that if you're on Google, typically that's what's called intent based. So you're actively going and looking up the services that you would provide, and they're located within your service area. Versus one of the other strategies with the meta ads, correct in that it's a little bit more interruptive. So we're sort of bridging a gap because maybe for the past 6 months they've been wanting to do something with their backyard. They've sort of been dreaming about a back patio they've been thinking about doing, but for whatever reason they just haven't decided to move forward or actually start looking. So we sort of bridge the gap there. So there are pros and cons to each. SEO is one of those things that does take time, but at its core, it is the highest value form of marketing. It just takes a little bit of time before you actually start to see consistent results. But that way you don't have to rely on the paid ads over time. So I think we're on the same page about that. It just took some time to find what works, and each business is a little different. So sometimes the meta ads is much works much better for business versus the SEO ultimately. But I do agree at the end of the day, every local service based business should be doing some form of SEO.
Oh, definitely.
Any sort of milestones that you can think of? Was there any particular jobs that maybe we helped secure that really surprised you and that made it be like, okay, this is actually working? Is there anything that any that you can recall?
I just that first lead that came in through the website, I closed it for like 12K. Yeah. I
Nice.
think 12,500. Yeah. 12,500. I closed it. The first lead that came in, they were ready to close.
That's killer.
The one that emailed about the backyard transformation, they're ready to close. I showed up. I was like, yeah, this is going to work. You know,
Killer. Yeah, from our comparables of seeing everybody else in El Paso area, I'd like to think we've positioned you as the authority figure. When somebody visits you and they're shopping around, I'd like to think that they're just simply calling you first, and sometimes that means you can get the job first, just because they're seeing you as like, oh, this guy he's the real deal.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I was surprised. I was like, man, first lead, close deal. I'm like,
Yeah, you never
the
know.
website just paid itself.
Exactly.
So
Killer. Awesome. Just a couple more here. What's one piece of advice that you would give to other clients to get the most out of our services?
have good communication. Communication is the key to this to work. If there's no communication, yeah, of course there's going to be you have to have that open bridge and be able to communicate with you or whoever's one of your assistants or so work to let you know, hey, this is working, this is not working. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of like you gotta, you know, figure it out as you go. It's not like this is gonna work just because it's magic. Like that's not the way the world works. You know what I mean? You have to have that communication with you. And I think that was my biggest lesson as far as like how do
Cool.
we make this work?
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say our communication's been pretty good?
It did, and it's gotten better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've definitely, I mean, we're having a conversation almost every week, even if it's a quick 10-minute call of like, hey, what's going on? What can we better be doing just to help you out and progress?
Yeah, and I've realized that's a big part of the success about how this is going to work. I mean, again, you're putting your trust into you. I'm putting my trust into you, and you're doing the back end of the thing, and I'm up front doing what I need to do. And that's the only way it's going to work.
100%. 100%. Awesome, brother. So, lastly, what would you say to someone considering in working with us? Maybe a potential outdoor living contractor that's out there. They're trying to figure out the marketing, and we're about to have a conversation. they're considering and working with us, what's maybe some suggestions you would give to them?
Be open about the situation, be transparent, know where you're going, have a plan already, and execute. Don't be scared to uh to put their trust on you, because it comes down to trust. And definitely feel like you could trust Jacob. Just let him do the work that he does, and you move on with what you do.
Love it. Killer. Boss, that was awesome. Again, greatly appreciate your time. I think that's all the questions that I have for us. We'll go ahead and conclude here with the case study call. Thanks,
All right,
brother.
cool.